What's happening in Cleveland right now is beyond a simple bad season. It's a full-scale, organizational meltdown that has the entire football world staring in disbelief. If you thought the factory of sadness was a thing of the past, think again. But this time, it's not just about losing games. It's about a betrayal of effort, a massive financial blunder, and a locker room dynamic that looks more like a Cold War than a professional football team. At the center of this storm is Jerry Jeudy, the man who was supposed to be the savior of the receiving corps, but has instead become the face of a controversy that could derail the most important era in Browns history. The city is on edge. The media is calling for heads to roll, and the fallout from this past weekend might have just unalived any hope for a peaceful transition into the Shedeur Sanders era. When the Cleveland Browns traded for Jerry Jeudy, they knew they were taking a gamble. The signs were everywhere. In Denver, the frustrations were loud. The national media had already started to sour on the former Alabama star. Even legends of the game, like Steve Smith Sr., were going on record to warn teams that Jeudy wasn't the elite talent he was projected to be. But Cleveland, in their typical swing-for-the-fences fashion, decided to ignore the noise. They didn't just trade away valuable draft capital. They backed up the truck and handed him a contract that suggested he was a cornerstone of the franchise. They wanted a reliable target for their young, high-profile quarterback. What they got instead was a veteran who seems to be struggling with the most basic fundamentals of the game. And the timing couldn't be worse. To understand why the fans are ready to riot, you have to look at the film. There is one play from this past game that has gone viral for all the wrong reasons. It's the kind of play that makes a coach want to scream and a fan want to throw their remote through the TV. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie who is carrying the weight of the city on his shoulders, did everything right. He dropped back, navigated the pocket like a seasoned pro, and delivered an absolute beauty of a pass. It was a pro-ready throw, placed perfectly in the hands of his primary receiver. In any other stadium, with any other elite receiver, that's a highlight reel catch and a massive gain. But what happened next was something you rarely see at the professional level. Jerry Jeudy didn't just drop the ball. He let a defender straight up take it from him. We aren't talking about a contested catch where the defender made a miraculous play. We are talking about a physical heist on the field. The defender reached in and ripped the ball out of Jeudy's hands, like he was taking candy from a child. It was a total collapse of physical will. The replay shows Jeudy with both hands on the pigskin, and yet there was zero fight. No grip, no determination, and most importantly, no dog mentality. In Cleveland, that's the ultimate sin. You can miss a block or run a wrong route, but if you don't fight for the ball when your rookie quarterback puts his trust in you, the city will never forgive you. This moment has reignited the firestorm surrounding Jeudy's reputation. People are going back to those Steve Smith comments, where the veteran receiver called Jeudy a jag, just a guy. At the time, Jeudy tried to laugh it off, but now it looks like a prophecy fulfilled. The national media is having a field day, and the local Cleveland media is even more brutal. The voices on 92.3 The Fan haven't been this united in their anger in years. They're pointing out the glaring reality. If this were a rookie or a fifth-round pick making these mistakes, you could chalk it up to growing pains. But Jeudy is a veteran being paid like a superstar. He's supposed to be the security blanket for Shedeur, not the reason the kid's stats are being sabotaged. And speaking of Shedeur Sanders, The pressure on this young man is unlike anything we've seen in a long time. He entered a situation that was already volatile, and he's been tasked with being the savior. He's shown the flashes of brilliance. He's shown he has the arm, the IQ, and the poise to lead this franchise. But a quarterback is only as good as the weapons around him. Right now, it feels like the Browns are asking Shedeur to build a skyscraper with toothpicks. The offensive line is a revolving door, and his supposed number one receiver is playing with what looks like zero confidence, or even worse, zero interest. There are whispers behind the scenes that the chemistry between the two is non-existent. And that's a recipe for a disaster that could end a career before it truly begins. The viral rants from fans like GPM have added fuel to the fire. These aren't just casual observers. These are people who live and breathe Browns football, and they see the lack of effort as a personal insult. The consensus is clear. The quarterback is doing his job, but the supporting cast is failing him. When you see a defensive back treat a veteran receiver like a practice squad body, it sends a message to the entire league. It says that this team is soft. It says that you can bully the Browns' veteran stars and they won't push back. That's a dangerous narrative to have when you're trying to build a new culture around a rookie quarterback. The organization now finds itself at a massive crossroads. Jimmy Haslam is known for being aggressive, and he's reportedly already looking at ways to overhaul the offensive weapons. The team has been making quiet moves, elevating guys like Jamari Thrash and looking for any sign of life in the depth chart. The fact that a fifth-round rookie is being discussed as a potential replacement for a high-paid veteran tells you everything you need to know about the state of the locker room. They are desperate for someone who actually wants to be there. Someone who will die for a loose ball or fight through a tackle, instead of just going through the motions. As we look toward the draft, the debate in Cleveland has shifted. It's no longer about whether Shedeur is the guy. It's about how to keep him from being ruined by the dysfunction around him. There are those who think the Browns should keep stacking the defense, but the majority of fans are screaming for a complete reset of the wide receiver room. They want young, hungry players who haven't been jaded by the league. They want guys who see catching a pass from a talent like Sanders as a privilege, not a chore. The Jerry Jeudy experiment was supposed to be the safe move, the veteran presence that stabilized the ship. Instead, it's become the anchor that's dragging the whole team to the bottom of the lake. There are only a few weeks left in the season, and for Jerry Jeudy, this is the ultimate prove-it moment. But it might already be too late. In a city like Cleveland, once the fans and the media decide you've checked out, there's almost no coming back. The lollipop play, as some are calling it, will be the defining image of his time here, unless he does something miraculous to change the story. But can he? Or have the years of criticism and the pressure of a new city finally broken his competitive spirit? The rumors of locker room tension aren't going away, and as Shedeur Sanders continues to fight for every yard, the contrast between the young leader and the veteran Jag is becoming impossible to ignore. The fallout from this controversy could change the trajectory of the Cleveland Browns for the next decade. If they don't fix the weapons situation, they risk wasting the prime years of a quarterback who actually has the talent to win. They risk turning Shedeur into another name on that infamous jersey of failed quarterbacks. Not because he didn't have the talent, but because the team failed to protect him and provide him with professional-level effort. The city of Cleveland has seen this movie before, and they know how it ends. They are tired of the excuses, tired of the potential, and tired of watching high-paid stars play like they'd rather be anywhere else. As the off-season approaches, expect the rumors to fly even faster. Don't be surprised if the Browns make a shocking move to move on from Jeudy, even if it means taking a massive hit on the salary cap. In the NFL, culture is everything. And right now, the culture in the Cleveland wide receiver room is toxic. They need a revealed sense of urgency, a total exposed truth about who is actually committed to winning and who is just there to collect a check. The Browns have the draft picks, they have the quarterback, and they have the fan base. All they need now are players who are willing to fight for the ball. In the end, the story of Jerry Jeudy in Cleveland might serve as a cautionary tale for the entire league. It's a reminder that talent without heart is a liability, especially when you're trying to mentor the next generation. For Shedeur Sanders, this season has been a trial by fire. He's learned the hard way that in the NFL, your greatest enemies aren't always on the other side of the ball. Sometimes, they're the ones who are supposed to be catching your passes. Whether the Browns can salvage this situation, or if they'll have to blow it all up again, remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the entire football world is watching, and the clock is ticking on the most expensive mistake in Cleveland's recent history. The road ahead is paved with uncertainty, but the mission is clear. Build around the kid, protect the investment, and for the love of the game, find some receivers who won't let a defender take their lunch money on national television. The fans have had enough, the media has had enough, and you can bet that the Sanders family has had enough. This isn't just football. It's a fight for the future of a franchise that has been in the dark for far too long. Will they finally see the light? Or is Cleveland destined to stay in the shadows of what could have been? Only time will tell. But the riot is already starting. And nobody is safe.